Next burn to begin less than 90 seconds from now. We've changed the settling pair to ACS jets 9 and 11. This is Delta Flight Commentary coming up on 27 minutes, 50 seconds into the flight. Mark. Less than 1 minute now until the second burn of the second stage. This burn is fairly short in duration, just over 3 minutes. Expecting to start about 20 seconds from now. Standing by for the burn. And we have the igniter spark. And we have ignition. Ignition on the second stage. Chamber pressure rising. Good chamber pressure in the second stage. Good and stable. Good engine control.
This is Delta Mission Control at T plus 29 minutes and 4 seconds. As just reported, the RL10 engine has been restarted. This second burn will last just over 3 minutes. Our next event, SECO 2, completes the engine burns for this mission. Here again is Steve Agid.
29 minutes, 22 seconds in. Burn continues to look well. Chamber pressure is holding. Good engine control. .29 minutes, 50 seconds in. Burn continues to look good. C-band beacon has been commanded off. About a minute and a half remaining in this burn. Engine control continues to hold. Altitude increasing now, 355 nautical miles, velocity 31,080 feet per second, downrange distance 5,802 nautical miles. Less than 45 seconds now until SECO 2. .30 seconds remaining now in the burn. Chamber pressure holding very well, good engine control. And we have SECO. The EMAs are locked.
We just heard confirmation of the successful cutoff of the RL10 engine. The mission is now in a 9-minute coast phase, flying above the southwest coast of Africa. WGS-5 separation will occur at the conclusion of this coast. at just over 40 minutes after liftoff. I'm joined again by Colonel David Goldstein of the Military Satellite Communications Systems Directorate. Colonel Goldstein, what role does the WGS program play in the overall Air Force portfolio?
As a program, WGS is part of the Military Satellite Communications, or MILSATCOM Systems Directorate. MILSATCOM provides satellite communications and control to DoD and government users. Our mission is to acquire and maintain these capabilities with ever-increasing capacity, affordability, and acquisition efficiency. All MILSATCOM programs within the Air Force are developed and managed for the Air Force Space Command by the MILSATCOM Systems Directorate.
For our viewers that may not have a grasp on satellite communication, could you explain how it works?
Each WGS satellite has a wide field of view of the Earth. The satellite can receive and transmit communication signals within acceptable frequency bands anywhere in that field of view. Because WGS has a fairly large field of view, we are able to provide 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week communications to warfighters over a significant portion of the globe with just 4 vehicles. The 5th vehicle will satisfy more of the warfighter demand for wideband SATCOM capability while providing coverage over areas of the Earth not currently covered or needing additional bandwidth.
Colonel Goldstein, you're the Deputy Director of the Military Satellite Communications Systems Directorate. Could you explain your role?
Sure. I'm just one very small piece of an outstanding team of professionals. As Deputy Director of the MILSATCOM Systems Directorate, I help direct the acquisition, planning, programming, budgeting, and operational support to the $40 billion portfolio of military satellite communication programs. WGS has been one of those programs I hold close to my heart and consider myself extremely lucky to be a part of its successful mission. To sum it all up, we develop, acquire, deploy, and sustain space-enabled, war-winning global communications to support national objectives.
Sounds like a challenging position. Could you give us a little background of your career for the younger viewers who might aspire for such a role?
Sure, Howard. Every assignment I've had has prepared me for the position I'm in today. It all started back at the United States Air Force Academy, where I graduated in 1988. At the Academy, I learned the basic building blocks of leadership, and I took my first astronautics course. From that point on, I was fascinated with satellites, orbits, and space. My kids tell me that's pretty geeky, but I just really can't help it. Unfortunately, the Air Force placed me in positions throughout my career in an area that I enjoyed working. I started in the Air Force as a second lieutenant, launching old Minuteman missiles at Vandenberg Air Force Base, testing reentry systems. I then transferred to the NASA Johnson Space Center, where I worked integrating Department of Defense experiments onto the shuttle. Then I went back to the Air Force Academy to teach astronautics, then to graduate school in a variety of satellite and launch positions, leading to where I am today. The Air Force has definitely given me incredible opportunities through my 25-year career, and I've been amazed at how our nation and our military continues to develop and rely on our space capabilities. It's been a great blessing to be part of the Air Force Space Command, the Space and Missile Systems Center in Los Angeles, and programs like WGS. WGS is now a model acquisition program and breaking new ground by buying communication satellites more efficiently and affordably than ever before. I'm honored to be part of this outstanding team and help deliver space capabilities to make our country more secure.
Well, Colonel Goldstein, thank you for that very insightful information. I'm sure it will be helpful to all of our viewers.
My pleasure, Howard.
This is Delta Mission Control at T plus 36 minutes and 35 seconds into the WGS-5 mission. Separation of the 5th wideband global SATCOM satellite is scheduled to occur approximately 4 minutes from now. Separation will occur over the east coast of Madagascar, approximately 50 degrees east longitude and 18 degrees south latitude. Let's join Steve Agate again for this final mission event.
Passing 37 minutes, 7 seconds into the flight. We've changed the settling jets, ACS 9 and 11 being used now. Now approximately 3 minutes until payload separation. Passing 38 minutes into the flight. Now passing 38 minutes, 38 seconds, about 2 minutes until spacecraft separation. Two jet pairs 9 and 11 have shut down, and 10 or 12 are now active. We will change the settling jets along the thrust axis between 9, 11, 10, and 12 periodically. About a minute and a half to go until spacecraft sep. Coming on 39 minutes, 30 seconds. Coming up on 40 minutes into the flight. Mark, 40 minutes, standing by for spacecraft separation. Standing by. And we have 2 good brake wires and spacecraft separation. Good spacecraft separation, WGS-5 now flying on its own.
Colonel Goldstein, congratulations for the successful launch and the separation of the WGS satellite for the United States Air Force.
Thanks, Howard. Thanks, Howard. This is another important milestone for our warfighters, our nation, and our allies. Go wideband.
Go wideband. And thank you again for your participation in today's live coverage.
Howard, it's my pleasure. It's an honor to represent the Air Force Space Command, and the MILSATCOM Systems Directorate.
I'd also like to thank Steve Agid for his contribution for today's broadcast. We'll conclude our live coverage with another look at today's liftoff. For more information about Delta IV, please go to www.ulalaunch.com. I'm Howard Voyan, and on behalf of the entire launch team, I want to thank you for joining us and wish you a good evening. 6, 5. We have liftoff. We have RS-27 main engine. We have liftoff, the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying WGS-5 for the United States Air Force. The wideband global SATCOM satellite provides significantly increased capacity to our nation's leaders, warfighters, and international partners.
Looking good.
You are hearing the voice of Steve Agid providing launch vehicle ascent data.